Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle Narrative Bundle 12 for $10 bundle of July 2026. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you to the viewers for watching my videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. And number 1 we have Roadwarden, a beautifully written text-based RPG set in a mysterious fantasy world. You embark on a journey as a Roadwarden, exploring an unmapped peninsula with your trusty horse. The game combines visual novel elements and RPG mechanics, featuring stunning pixel art and immersive descriptions. Each area you encounter is accompanied by detailed visuals and vivid writing, creating a rich and captivating atmosphere. As you navigate the peninsula, you must manage various factors like time, health, nourishment, and appearance, adding strategic depth to your choices. Discover numerous side quests, ranging from simple tasks to complex challenges, each impacting the world and its inhabitants. The game excels in its secrets and mysteries, prompting hidden interactions through free text entries, leaving you intrigued and eager to uncover the truth. With its deep history and interconnected characters, Roadwarden offers a layered storytelling experience. It rewards careful exploration and attention to detail, making it advisable to keep a notebook handy. The time limit adds to the sense of mystery and replayability, ensuring you won't uncover everything in a single playthrough. Roadwarden is a captivating and beautifully crafted game that provides a unique narrative journey. Its immersive world, thought-provoking choices, and well-written description make it a must-play for fans of text-based RPGs and those who appreciate immersive storytelling. Prepare to embark on an unforgettable journey filled with intrigue and discovery. Dive into its enchanting world and lose yourself in a tale where every decision has consequences and every corner holds secrets waiting to be unveiled. And number 2 we have White Shadows, a moody monochromatic puzzle platformer that transports you into a haunting, hyper-industrialized city ruled by corrupt pigs. As you traverse this bleak capitalist dystopia, you play as a lone raven, navigating a world filled with menacing monuments, grotesque character designs, and overt social commentary regarding xenophobia and class structures. While the game's aesthetic immediately evokes comparisons to titles like Limbo or Inside, it strives to distinguish itself through cinematic flair and grand musical set pieces. At its absolute best, the experience feels like a frantic, pulse-pounding thrill ride. You'll find yourself darting through mechanical hazards, perfectly timed to swelling classical scores, which turn simple traversal into spectacular theatrical sequences. These moments are visually stunning, offering a constant stream of incredible, screenshotable compositions. However, the game struggles when it forces you to slow down. The puzzles are unfortunately simple and lack the physics-based depth to make experimentation rewarding. They often feel like aesthetic obstacles rather than genuine challenges. Furthermore, the experience suffers from pacing issues, particularly in an incoherent final act that abandons the game's interpretive storytelling for an awkward, heavy-handed exposition dump. Despite these flaws, White Shadows remains a brief, memorable journey. Clocking in at just under 2 hours, its shortcomings are never allowed to overstay their welcome. If you're willing to overlook the lackluster puzzle mechanics and a messy narrative conclusion, you'll find a creative, chilling, and visually striking experience worth witnessing for its sheer artistic ambition. And number 3 we have Gone Home, a first-person narrative exploration game that places you in the role of Katie Greenbrier, who returns to her family's Oregon home in 1995 after a year abroad. Upon arrival, you find the house deserted, with only a cryptic note from your younger sister, Sam, urging you to investigate her disappearance. Lacking traditional combat or survival mechanics, the game tasks you with uncovering the secrets of your family's life by examining every corner of the sprawling atmospheric mansion. As you navigate the darkened rooms, you interact with everyday objects, letters, cassette tapes, journals, and personal effects that piece together a deeply intimate story. The house acts as a narrative archive, with your exploration revealing the hidden struggles of your parents and the blossoming complicated relationship between Sam and her friend Lonnie. While the game initially adopts the suspenseful aesthetic of a psychological horror title, it ultimately delivers a poignant, grounded drama about love, identity, and the process of growing up. Critics praise the game for its immersive storytelling and emotional resonance, though some players feel the lack of traditional gameplay makes it feel more like an interactive experience than a challenge. Regardless, the superb voice acting and environmental details make the mansion feel genuinely lived in. The experience of wandering through these private spaces offers a profound sense of discovery. By the time you reach the attic and uncover the truth, you'll find that Gone Home is a powerful exploration of what it truly means to leave home behind. At number 4 we have NeoCab, an interactive narrative game where you play as Lena, one of the last human taxi drivers in a city slowly surrendering to automation. Set in the near-future metropolis of Los Hoyos, your job is simple. Ferry passengers, maintain a good driver rating, and make enough money to sleep each night. But the emotional and social layers quickly complicate things. You'll spend most of your time talking to Pax, a rotating cast of eccentric riders with strong opinions and tech-fueled lifestyles. The conversations are where NeoCab shines. They explore everything from AI ethics to gig economy burnout, and while some passengers verge on caricature, many offer perspectives that challenge your choices in subtle, meaningful ways. Your mood, tracked by a wearable device called the Feel Grid, directly affects what dialogue options are available, adding depth to your decisions. The central mystery, your missing best friend Savvy, drives the story forward, but often takes a backseat to the game's more philosophical musings. NeoCab touches on corporate surveillance, algorithmic bias, and the erosion of human agency. You'll not find clean resolutions here, but the ambiguity feels intentional. You're not meant to save the world, just survive another night. The downside is that some conversations can sometimes feel overly staged, and the game bites off more than it can meaningfully chew in its short runtime. Still, it's a unique and thoughtful experience that lingers after the credits. If you want a short but emotionally narrative game that reflects our tech-anxious present, NeoCab is a ride worth taking. At number 5 we have The Darkside Detective, a Fumble in the Dark, a graphic adventure game. The game is a sequel to the original Darkside Detective. It continues the humorous and witty style of its predecessor. In the game, you play as Detective Francis McQueen, a member of the Darkside Division of the City Police Department. Alongside your partner, Officer Dooley, you solve a series of isolated cases, each of its own self-contained storyline. The game deviates from the traditional adventure game format by offering individual cases rather than a single overarching story. The game stands out for its clever writing and humorous dialogue. Almost every interaction and observation in the game leads to witty one-liners, puns, and playful character interactions. The constant stream of jokes and humor keeps the gameplay amusing and engaging. However, the game's pacing suffers at times, with cases dragging on longer than necessary, leading to occasional monotony. The game follows the typical adventure game mechanics, where you click on objects, collect items, and solve puzzles to progress through the story. The pixelated graphics, although initially appearing simplistic, are well done and complement the game's style. The music, while not exceptional, adds charm to certain moments in the game. Despite its few shortcomings, The Darkside Detective, a Fumble in the Dark, maintains the enduring qualities of its predecessor. The game offers an enjoyable and lighthearted experience, especially for players who appreciate charismatic characters and excellent observational humor. At number 6 we have The Stillness of the Wind, a quiet, reflective narrative disguised as a farming game. You step into the shoes of an aging woman who lives alone on a desert homestead, tending to goats, chickens, and a fading garden. But unlike Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon, this is not about building a farm. It is about watching things wind down. Each day, you milk goats, gather eggs, water plants, and churn cheese. A traveling merchant visits, trading goods and bringing letters from family who have long since left for the city. These letters speak of distant, fast-paced lives, while you remain rooted in a slow, shrinking world. At first, you might try to optimize your routine, filling your pantry and keeping everything running smoothly. Eventually, you realize that productivity is not the point. This is a story about aging, solitude, and quietly approaching the end. You feel the weight of time in every slow footstep, in a repetition of chores, in the stillness of the empty landscape. Occasionally, memories and surreal visions break the routine. A dream, a wolf, a childhood flashback, reminding you of what once was, and what's slipping away. Though short in duration, the game lingers emotionally. You're not given any goals to chase or problems to solve. Instead, the stillness of the wind offers space to reflect, to feel the beauty and sadness of a life in its twilight. It is meditative, melancholy, and deeply human, a gentle farewell dressed in dust and goat's milk. At number 7 we have The Procession to Calvary, a point-and-click adventure game that feels like playing through a Monty Python animation. This game is a spiritual successor to Four Last Things, once again utilizing a collage of cut and pasted Renaissance artwork and public domain classical music. You play as a nameless armored warrior who loves murder, but since the war has ended, killing is now illegal. To satisfy your bloodlust, you strike a deal with the new ruler, Immortal John, to hunt down the tyrant, Heavenly Peter. The gameplay follows traditional genre tropes where you interact with surreal characters, like a street magician from Nazareth, or a group of bickering demons, using a radial Vertcoin menu. You solve puzzles by gathering inventory items and navigating absurd scenarios, such as befriending a skunk or stealing crutches from an amputee to use as oars. A unique mechanic allows you to draw your sword to bypass puzzles entirely through violence, though your character warns you that shortcut murders often lead to unfavorable endings or sudden failure. Visually, the game is stunning yet hilariously crude, with static masterpieces brought to life through jerky paper doll movements. While the humor occasionally feels hit or miss, or leans heavily on fourth wall breaks, the experience is remarkably consistent and satire-rich. You'll find that the game's short 3-hour length is packed with irreverent gags about religion and art history. If you enjoy dark Pythonesque wit mixed with highbrow aesthetics, this delightfully silly pilgrimage is exactly for you. At number 8 we have No Longer Home, an atmospheric game about two friends, Bo and Ao, who are processing complex feelings as they bid farewell to a phase of their lives. Developed by Humble Grove, it centers on non-binary protagonists facing the end of their time together in a London flat. As you explore their apartment, you view the space isometrically. Each room is presented like a handcrafted diorama. You rotate these spaces to discover interactive items, accompanied by a wooden clicking sound design that makes the environment feel tangible. You'll uncover small, intimate details in every room that spark memories of their shared joys, accomplishments, and everyday frustrations. The heart of the narrative explores how home is deeply connected to other people. For Bo and Ao, parting ways is intensely painful. As non-binary individuals, they express a profound trepidation about entering a world where they are constantly misunderstood or forced into gendered boxes. The game beautifully captures the real, lived experience of trans and non-binary folks. Its narrative peaks occurs during a lengthy, intimate late-night conversation in bed, where they openly lay out their fears and deep vulnerabilities about the unknown future ahead. This specific and honest title serves as a poignant comfort when you're experiencing a crossroads. While it confronts the psychological weight of endings, it reminds you that the special connections you forge are never truly lost. When you encounter people who truly see and understand you, you carry their love with you wherever you go. At number 9 we have Without a Dawn, a short experimental visual horror novel by Jesse McConan that prioritizes atmospheric storytelling over traditional gameplay. You step into the fractured mind of a young woman seeking refuge in a remote cabin to escape her suffocating anxiety and depression. Instead of finding peace, you encounter a surreal landscape where silence takes physical form and reality blurs with unsettling nightmares. The experience is intentionally linear, as you click through dialogue and navigate a hurricane of restless thoughts, occasionally making choices that reflect the loss of free will inherent in severe mental distress. The game's unique feature is a pseudo-ASCII art style, a striking digital aesthetic where lines of code and character fragments drip across the screen like fluid. You'll find yourself squinting at the shifting textures, questioning whether you truly see a figure in the shadows or if your mind is playing tricks. The visual tension is amplified by masterfully layered sound design. The rhythmic pattern of rain and ticking clocks create a physical weight that makes you feel trapped within the protagonist's cabin. While there are no puzzles or survival mechanics, the psychological horror is potent, particularly when a mysterious man in a gas mask appears in disturbing close-ups. Clocking in at around 40 minutes, it is a focused, introspective dive into psychosis and isolation. You don't just play a story, you inhabit the headspace of mounting paranoia. For fans of experimental indies, it is a chilling, handcrafted journey that lingers long after you close your eyes. At number 10 we have Hiveswap Friendsim. In Hiveswap Friendsim, you are thrust into the shoes of a stranded protagonist on the enigmatic planet of Alternia, craving companionship in a world devoid of necessities. This episodic visual novel invites you on a whimsical journey through the eccentric Homestuck universe by Andrew Hussey. Released on April 2018, Friendsim presents a simple yet captivating premise. Navigate the alien landscape and befriend a diverse cast of trolls from gritty underground venues to opulent mansions. The game's visual novel format envelops you in dark humor, odd encounters, and memorable characters, each offering a unique opportunity for camaraderie or chaos. Accompanied by James Roach's enchanting music, the writing immerses you in a surreal and entertaining adventure. However, despite its charming narrative, some critics highlight the game's brevity and limited gameplay mechanics, likening it more to an interactive ebook than a traditional video game. Nonetheless, Friendsim has gained praise for its quirky charm and witty dialogue, leaving a lasting impression on players. Fans of the franchise and those seeking a lighthearted visual novel experience will find delight in this journey through the strange and whimsical world of Homestuck. So, if you are ready to embark on a journey of friendship and absurdity, dive into Hiveswap Friendsim and prepare for a wild ride across the Alternian landscape. At number 11 we have Mythwrecked, Ambrosia Island, an enchanting adventure game where you'll find yourself shipwrecked on a mysterious magical island inhabited by paranoid Greek gods. As you explore this captivating world, you take on the role of a helpful visitor, tasked with aiding these deities to regain their memories and restore harmony. If you enjoy side quests, you'll find this experience to be absolute heaven. The gameplay loop is heavily focused on exploration and fetch quests, requiring you to collect mementos, perform tasks like feeding birds, and fill fountains to build friendship levels with iconic figures like Hermes, Athena, and Hades. The developer has clearly prioritized player guidance, ensuring you never feel lost or overwhelmed. The inclusion of an Ambrosia Dex tool, which acts like a radar to locate items, makes navigating tasks smooth and satisfying. Visually, the game is gorgeous, featuring a wonderful art style and diverse representation that makes each god feel unique and personable. While the voice acting relies on repetitive overdone sounds rather than spoken words, you can easily turn this off in the settings, rendering it a non-issue. Mythwrecked Ambrosia Island is a triumph for cozy gaming that rewards your curiosity and kindness. If you love juggling tasks, uncovering lore, and decorating your own sanctuary, this game provides endless serotonin. It is a heartfelt story of discovery that you'll want to return to again and again. You should definitely dive into this island adventure. At number 12 we have Over the Alps, a narrative adventure that whisks you away on a stylish postcard-filled journey across Europe on the eve of World War II. Developed by a team with expertise in interactive storytelling, this game captures the romance of vintage travel posters and luggage labels, presenting a world abstracted into shards of vibrant pastel colors. You take on the role of a secret agent navigating deep political intrigue, where the primary method of storytelling unfolds through text on postcards sent to a friend back home. The game's unique mechanic is a stamp system. You use icons representing different attitudes, such as being debonair, professional, or ruthless, to influence the direction of the narrative. As you swipe between choices and commit to your path, you peel back layers of deception, lucky escapes, and unexpected accidents. While you're constantly pursued by the Swiss police, the game encourages you to focus on your style and poise rather than just the final destination. Much like skiing, the road you choose through the metaphorical trees is what matters most. Whether you're stealing cars, boarding trains, or meeting mysterious strangers, the game remains a joyous romp that emphasizes the nuances of your decision-making. The choices you make often feel as fluid and interpretable as tarot cards, providing a refreshing take on the narrative genre. If you appreciate a game that balances high-stakes espionage with the intimate bracing thrill of a well-told story, then this alpine adventure is a delightful, must-play experience for your collection. And that is all for this bundle. The narrative 12 for $10 bundle is an absolute win for any gamer looking to pad their backlog with high-tier storytelling without breaking the bank. With heavy hitters like Roadwarden and the Procession of Calvary in the mix, the value-to-cost ratio is insane. Even if you already snagged a few of these gems, the sheer quality here makes it a must-buy for your Steam Deck. Do not sleep on this deal, grab it before it rotates out, and you're left with a major FOMO. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.